Hello, everyone. This is Brandon Wendell, Chartered Market Technician. I'm going to go ahead and do some analysis on the metals market, specifically gold and silver here for the weekend or week, really, of November 11th. We'll take a look, see what's going on. On the gold weekly chart, on the gold futures, you're seeing a lot of consolidation. We're making some lower highs, but not really going anywhere. It almost looks like a descending triangle, if you will. You can see it doesn't really touch on the trend lines, but overall, we're just kind of going sideways. There we are. So we'll see if that ends up breaking down. You see the RSI, the momentum is just right near the center. That shows we have almost no momentum in either direction. Going down to the daily time frame, let's see what we got going on here. Still very little trend. It's been very dangerous to try to trade gold on anything lower or anything higher than very small time frames because there's no trend. With the sideways choppy movement, it can eat up your account very, very easily if you don't know what you're doing. So the best thing to do is look for smaller kind of quick scalps in and out of this on smaller time frames. Even on this daily chart, I've got no real trend here, so no real opportunities. Go down to the 4-hour time frame. Now we're seeing a bit of movement. We had a bit of a downtrend, and we impulsed up above all those prior highs. So here we've broken out, but with that kind of a parabolic move, you're likely going to get a bit of a pullback, a retracement. So you can see we had this impulse correction, and we may not be done with move. We'll just have to wait and see because with the Fibonacci extensions and projections, we blasted through the 61.8, the 100% or duplication of the prior move is usually your next target. We can always look back to see if this lines up with any kind of a supply above by going back in time here. But if it does, obviously that's going to be our higher probability. And we are pretty close to one, aren't we? So we got kind of drop base, or no, rally base drop altogether. Maybe a lot of basing candles here, though, so I don't know how effective that'll be as a zone. But you see, there's good selling pressure coming down. So when we go back to our current price, that is our fib level. That's our target right there. So that means if we're bullish, we're going to keep going long until we hit that 1825, 1826 area. Well, let's drop down to a 60-minute time frame to see what opportunities there might be for us. Nothing here on the 60. There's no really good zones other than perhaps rally, base, rally. And there's even this kind of weak rally-based rally right now forming, but I don't know how viable that one is. Closing this candle's 1817.3, the high 1873 is the same. That's actually part of the basing. So there's only two leg out candles, not good enough. So right now, if it pulls back to 1804.9, 1797.0, you got a possible long up to that 1827 area. But even there, that's not a good reward risk ratio. So let's try smaller time frame, 15 minutes, see if we can fine tune this at all. And not anything great. Again, we have some problems here. You take a look. Well, first of all, we can narrow this down a little. Perhaps. Oh, no, we can't. I'm sorry, we can't. That's the leg candle right there. But what we can add in is this. Rally, base, and very weak movement to the upside. So honestly, that's what I was saying. It's better to trade this on very small time frames, maybe even smaller than this 15, because we don't have great zones. There's just nothing really there. So you're kind of gambling when you go into this. Even this trade, 1812.7 to 1808.6, doesn't give you a great reward risk ratio of about 2 to 1 because you got to get out before you hit the supply. We go down to a 5-minute chart, and we're stair stepping upwards, and that's where you find some zones you might be able to trade. And you take a look back here, and you can see there's nothing there. Actually, aren't any great zones, so I might have to stay away from gold for a little bit, or maybe look at it from a volume-based chart, a different perspective. Going over to silver, we get to the weekly time frame. Oops, sorry about that. I ended up kicking off my recording as I went to the bigger screen here. So anyway, coming back to this, we can see that on the weekly, we're a bit bearish here on silver. You can see we're making lower highs, lower lows, and staying in the bearish mode for the momentum. Our nearest weekly demand zone is right there. So we haven't come down to that zone yet, 69,437, but we still have a lot of bearish momentum. So unless we get divergence, which could happen if we come down and we don't make a fresh low, there could be a bounce in silver, but it's still a little far away. I'm sorry, this is the wrong one. What is this? This is Russian ruble futures. Hang on. Oh boy, I hate when it does that. SI. And it's not showing me futures, so let's try this. COMEX. I know what I can do. There we go. Silver futures. And we can do December 2021. Thank you very much. Now we look at the right chart. That always helps. Anyway, looking at this chart, we're seeing a bit bearish as well. However, we are really bouncing a little bit right now because of a positive divergence that happened here. You can see the positive divergence warned that even though we were making new lows, we were doing it with less momentum, so we get a little bounce right here. We do have supply right above that we end up hitting, drop, base, drop. So we're bumping into that and holding it. So it looks as though we're going to continue to slide down. And actually, our first target, it's going to be right about here. We got rally base rally. So we got room to go to 19 bucks. I thought that silver price was off when I was looking at the ruble. Probably a bunch of you were screaming at the video, you got the wrong symbol. I finally heard you. Anyway, going down to the daily time frame, see what's going on here. If we can trade down to that supply zone, be great. But we don't really have a good zone to be able to enter unless we go a little higher. 25,340, 26,13. That's a good zone. Lots of selling pressure, broke out of prior lows. So we'll see if we can get back up to that area. And that would be where I'd look to short, at least on the daily time frame. Not a great zone here for base and rally, maybe a little bit. You know, we have rally, base, 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 base. 6 is the minimum or maximum number for zones. And that's what we got there, 6 basing candles. We have a little bit of rally. So target number 1 right there, we could look back to see if there's another target below 22 bucks. There should be. Except, we got bad trading back then from the volume for the rollover. So I'm not really sure where this might go, but you can try to hold on for the weekly demand at that point. If we go down to a 4-hour chart, let's see if we can drop down on the zones and see if there may be a smaller time frame zone we could jump in on. And we do. We have a 4-hour zone right here. That's more realistic for hitting. We have drop, base, drop. Actually, I want to go back to that daily for a moment. Momentum is somewhat up right now. We have higher low, but we don't have the higher high. We were in an overall downtrend, failed to make a new high right here, I believe. Although we did go above 60. What's the high here? 24,185, and the high back here, 24,945. So no, we did not make a new high. So we're still in a downtrend technically, which is good because that means on the 4-hour, we can still look for a short opportunity. That's what I wanted to see. Can we short this, the 24,450, 24,560? And the answer is yes. As far as targets go, I don't really have anything great here for demand. I would say just go down to that daily demand, 22,725. And it's rally, base, 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 rally right there too on this time frame. So you can see that this makes a good target right there. 22,770. If you want to fine tune this even more, we go down to the 60-minute time frame to try to reduce risk. You can always trade the micros too, or the minis. You got to be careful of volume, obviously. And it doesn't look as good. It looks like that zone may have already been tested here as you go to the smaller time frame. So you got to be a little bit careful. Maybe wait for some confirmation. And we're still seeing lots of bullish activity here. So I don't have any opportunities on this time frame. And going down to the 15-minute. Again, not seeing anything because the 60-minute was bullish. So you expect this to be a bit to the upside. And if you're looking for a continuation up, I don't really have a good area. I thought this might have been one. Let's see the high here. 0.25 close. It's just inside. I was thinking that this might have been a good long opportunity here. Drop base rally, but the problem is that green candle coming out that I would like to use as my first leg candle technically closes inside of that candle, so it doesn't make it. That's part of the base. Which gives us a very weak move up. See, this looks good. Even that. But this doesn't. This is just too big. So I don't know if that'll work or not. We can keep an eye on it, but it's not really a great zone, 23,940. But that might give you an opportunity if you pull back to buy on the way up to that 24,450. You can look to see if there's anything else right here as well. And no, I don't have anything. So that's all I've got for you right now on the precious metals. So until next time, everyone, trade safe, trade well, and take care.